Greetings to all my tech heads out there in the KevTechify nation, and if you're new here, welcome. In this episode, we're going to look at intrusion prevention systems on the Cisco ISRs. We'll be discussing the intrusion prevention system components, the Cisco IOS intrusion prevention system, Snort intrusion prevention system, Snort operation, Snort features, and then finally we'll look at the Snort system requirements. This episode is part of my series on network security. I'm Kevin here at KevTechify. Let's get this adventure started. An IPS sensor, it has two components. The first component here is an IPS detection and enforcement engine. So it's an engine here. And what it does is to validate traffic, that detection engine compares incoming traffic with known attack signatures that are included in the intrusion prevention system attack signature package. So any traffic coming in, it compares it to known attack signatures. And then the second sensor or second component is the IPS attack signatures package. This is a list of known attack signatures that are contained in one file. The signature package is updated frequently as new attacks are discovered. Network traffic is analyzed for matches to these signatures. The IPS detection and enforcement engine that can be implemented depends upon the router platform. There are two engines that can be implemented. If you have the Cisco 800, 1900, 2900, 3900 series integrated service routers, what you would implement is the Cisco IOS intrusion prevention system. If you have a Cisco 4000 series integrated service router, what you would implement then here is Snort. The network administrator could configure the Cisco IOS intrusion prevention system to choose the appropriate response to various threats. For example, when packets in a session match a signature, what could happen here is that Cisco IOS intrusion prevention system could be configured to respond this way. First thing it would do, it would send an alarm to a syslog server or a central managed interface. Then the second step would be to drop that packet. Let's just delete it off of our network. Third would be to reset that connection. So wherever that connection was coming from, let's end it and wait for them to restart it. The fourth step here would be to deny traffic from that source IP address of the threat for a specified amount of time. So wherever that attack came from, let's deny that IP address, and you can a lot of times set it up to deny it for a period of time. That way, if it was some sort of legitimate attack or whatever the reason, they could reestablish it after a certain time. And then finally, what you could do is deny traffic on the connection for which the signature was seen for a specified amount of time. So now as you compare that in your signature files, let's deny that connection for a certain amount of time. Many of the devices that support a Cisco IOS intrusion prevention systems are no longer available or no longer supported. The newer Cisco 4000 series integrated services routers, typically they're referred to as ISRs, they provide an intrusion prevention systems service using the Snort IPS feature. Now, Snort is an open source network intrusion prevention system that performs real-time traffic analysis, and it also generates alerts when the threats are detected on IP networks. Snort can also perform protocol analysis, content searching or matching, and detect a variety of attacks and probes such as buffer overflows and stealth port scans. The Snort engine runs in a virtual service container on that Cisco 4000 series integrated service router. Now, this virtual service container is a virtual machine that runs on the ISR operating system. Service containers are applications that can be hosted directly on that Cisco IOS XE routing interface. That's the routing interface that comes on these new Cisco 4000 series ISRs. The Snort container is distributed as an OVA file that is installed on those Cisco 4000 series ISRs. If you're familiar with VMware or virtualization products, OVA, that Open Virtualization Appliance, that's the software where you just click on it and it installs the whole virtual machine for you, pre-configured and everything. Cisco is taking that technology and applying it to this Snort intrusion prevention system to be installed on their Cisco 4000 integrated series routers. Integrated service routers. If you like this episode on IPS on Cisco's integrated service routers and you get value out of it, and depending upon the platform you're using, please click that like button, give a 5-star rating, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. Doing this supports the channel, which in turn helps me bring you more great content. You can also visit my website at KevTechify.com for all of my details and how to get these episodes in video and podcast form. Snort IPS signatures are delivered automatically to the ISR, the Integrated Services Router, by Cisco Talos. Once again, remember, Cisco Talos is that security suite that has a lot to do with security, including delivering these signatures. Snort can customize rule sets and provide central deployment and manage capabilities for these 4000 series ISRs. Snort can be enabled in IDS mode, intrusion detection system mode, or intrusion prevention mode. The IDS mode here, Snort inspects the traffic and reports alerts, but does not take any action to prevent the attack. IPS mode, on the other hand, in addition to all the stuff done in the IDS mode, it also allows actions to be taken to prevent those attacks. In the network intrusion detection and prevention mode, Snort performs monitoring of traffic and analyzing it against the different rule sets. So it monitors the traffic and analyzes it against the rule set. It performs different attack classification. And finally, what it does is it invokes actions against match rule sets. So if it matches one of the rules, it will do what you tell it to. Drop that traffic, block the connection into our devices. Here are some benefits and features of the Snort intrusion prevention system. First one here, signature-based intrusion detection, IDS, and intrusion-based prevention system. Snort open source IPS is capable of performing real-time traffic analysis here and packet logging on your IP network. It runs on a 4000 series integrated services router service container without the need to deploy an additional device on your branch. The next one here, Snort rule set updates. Snort rule set updates for the 4000 series ISRs are generated by Cisco Talos. Now, this is a group of leading edge network security experts who work around the clock to proactively discover, assess, and respond to the latest trends in hacking activities, intrusion attempts, malware, and different vulnerabilities. The Snort rule set pull. The router will be able to download rule sets directly from cisco.com or snort.org to a local server using one-time commands or periodic automated updates. The Snort rule set push here. So one was the pull where the device pulls it in. The Snort rule push here is a centralized management tool that can push the rule sets based on pre-configured policy instead of the router directly downloading it. So Snort.org, Cisco Talos, they can push you updates. And then finally, signature allowed listing. Allowed listing allows the disabling of certain signatures from the rule set. Disabled signatures can be re-enabled at any time. So depending upon the needs of your network, you may want to disable certain signatures. Snort intrusion prevention systems on Cisco's 4000 series ISRs, they have certain system requirements. First, you have to have a security K9 license. An SEC license is required to activate Snort IPS functionality. Next, customers also need here to purchase a yearly subscription for the signature package distributed on Cisco.com. Now, to keep current with the latest threat protection, Snort rule sets are term-based subscriptions and available for 1 or 3 years. There are 2 types of term-based subscriptions here. So we have our term-based subscriptions, and then we have 2 sets. The first one here is a community rule set. This offers limited coverage against threats, focusing on reactive response to security threats versus proactive research network. There's a 30-day delayed access to updated signatures in the community rule set, and this subscription does not entitle the customer to Cisco support. The community rule set is sort of the cheaper way to go. And I'll be honest with you, it is the cheaper way to go. But remember, there's a 30-day delay and you get no Cisco support. If you want the quicker access to the updated signatures, you have to go with the subscriber rule set. And this is definitely the more expensive path to go. This offers the best protection against threats. It includes coverage in advance of exploits by using the research work of the Cisco Talos security experts. Now, the subscriber rule set also provides the fastest access to updated signatures in response to a security incident or a proactive discovery of a new threat. This subscription is fully supported by Cisco. It was my pleasure to provide you with this wonderful episode on intrusion prevention systems on Cisco's ISRs. If you like this episode and you got value out of it, and depending upon the platform you're using, please click that like button, give a 5-star rating, leave a comment. This all helps me bring you more great content. Please take a minute to subscribe to my channel. All of my socials and details are on my website, KevTechify.com, and you can get all of these episodes in video and podcast form. In the upper right is my playlist for my series on network security. In the bottom right is one of my favorite videos that I picked just for you. Thank you so much for watching this episode of my series on network security. Once again, I'm Kevin. This is KevTechify. I'll see you next time for another great adventure.